Alright, hey guys, so I realize I haven't done any videos in a really long time where I've shown off any of my cool promos, collectibles, displays that I have laying around my room here or recently acquired. And then also came to mind that I never really ever did anything for this channel for those of you that know Sonic the Hedgehog's 20th anniversary just passed this June. I did do a video of my Sonic the Hedgehog collection on the day of the 20th anniversary on my Sonic the Hedgehog channel, which I will leave a link for that right below so you can check that out if you want to. It's a full video that I did for my Sonic channel. But I never did anything for my PeteDorr channel. So I figured I'd kill two birds with one stone, and I would do a promotional video for my displays and collectible posters and everything like that for Sonic the Hedgehog. Now this stuff here that I'm going to show you, I don't think you've seen in any of my other previous videos. It's stuff that I've picked up over the past year, year and a half, maybe even 2 years. I don't think it's gone that far. Maybe just over a year and a half would be the maximum. So let me get started here and show you the first thing from my Sonic collection. This here is really cool. It's a Sonic the Hedgehog 1 hanging mobile. These were meant to be hung so that they obviously spin, and the really cool thing about these is that they always are spinning. These things are never standing still. It's the way that they use these little clips that hold everything together right up in here, but it's constantly spinning. It's never at a standstill, and this is really cool. I believe that this was only available through a mail order catalog where you can buy some Sega-related merchandise, and this was one of them, and believe it or not, this thing was only like $25, $30 back then, and you were also able to get one for Toe Jam and Earl, which that's very rare as well. And this is a very rare mobile. Really cool. What I like most is that they have these things hanging here. Fastest new game of the year, and now inside Genesis box. So that's a really cool mobile. I also have another one that is for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 instead of Sonic the Hedgehog 1. This one is the same thing on both sides, but as you can see, you got the original artwork there for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And too fast, too cool, today. Twice the action, twice the danger. I really like this mobile. Alright, so the next piece, this one here is actually a one-of-a-kind, and I've got a little bit of a story to go with it. So as you guys know, I recently attended PAX Prime out in Seattle, Washington, and I had a blast there, but you know me, roaming the show floor, certain things will catch your eye, and you're like, man, I wish I could just have that. And some of the things that, well, you just can't take home because there's no chance that the people at the booth would be able to give it to you. But I was in Microsoft's booth, and this game actually just came out this past Wednesday on Xbox Live Arcade. But I was at Microsoft's booth, and they had a display for Sonic CD for Xbox Live Arcade. And above the TVs for each of the games that they had on display, they had these little display banners. It's made of a thick foam core, but this was sitting on top of the Sonic CD TV for the demo for you to play. And I was like, I guess I was, the only one ballsy enough. I'm like, I spent forever. I'm tracking down the Microsoft people. I'm like, could you tell me who's in charge of that booth over there for Sonic CD? And they're like, oh yeah, it's so-and-so. He's not here right now, though. So I put it off for a little bit, and then I found the guy eventually the next day, and I was like, hey, at the end of the day, do you think I'd be able to take that home? I have a really big Sonic the Hedgehog collection. I'd really appreciate it. And the guy was really cool. He's like, yeah, there's no problem with it. We usually throw these things out anyway. So I came back at the end of the day. They were trying to kick everybody out of the convention hall, and I walked into the Microsoft booth. They're like, hey, you gotta go. I'm like, yeah, just 1 second. I walk up, find the guy, and yeah, cool enough. He let me have the Sonic CD display banner that they put above the TV. So I am almost 100% sure this is one of a kind, because I highly doubt any of these existed elsewhere for any other conventions, considering that I think that was the first time this game was shown in the US at least, on a TV like that, this size. So really cool. It seems like they just took some stock artwork for Sonic the Hedgehog and just threw it on here, but definitely a great little memory tied to it for a great convention that I went to. Alright, next, let me move on to my most recent one here. This is from Japan, and I know there's some of you out there that live in Japan, so if you can please tell me what one of the things on here says, I'd really appreciate it. But this is a very, very rare stand-up display for Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Now, let me move a little bit closer here. But this is what I'm wondering, what this says right here. I can't read Japanese, so if you can please tell me what that says, I'd be really interested. I'm sure it probably says something like in stores now, or, you know, who knows. But this is made of a hard, clear plastic, and on the front here is a decal. Unfortunately, it does have a little crack on the bottom here, but on the bottom it also advertises the Mega Drive, the Game Gear, and the Sega logo. So, really happy to have this. I've never seen one of these in anyone else's collection, so this is probably, I think, yeah, I'd go as far to say as, besides that Sonic CD banner, probably the rarest display sign that I own for Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, the next one here is pretty big, so I'm going to stand back a little bit, get it in the whole frame. This here, unfortunately, I can't really display in its entirety because it takes up a lot of wall space, and it's very big. This I found on eBay about a year and a half ago, I think, and I think the buy it now was something like only $50, $70, whatever it was super cheap, and I was like, yep, buying that, I don't care if I don't have the room or not. It was a really good price. And that is this, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 vinyl banner, which is double-sided, and it was used to promote the game, you know, when it came out, and it had a promotion for Lifesavers. They did a lot of promotions with Lifesavers, like, let me show you here. I have a brand new in package, Lifesavers Sonic the Hedgehog Hot Rings, a pack of 4, still brand new, sealed in the original packaging, branded for Sonic the Hedgehog. So they often did quite a bit of Lifesaver promotions, but this is super cool. You got Zoom or Doom, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, now available. The only thing that I'm disappointed I don't have for this is that, as you can see here where it says now available, there's little pieces of Velcro on the 4 corners, so I'm imagining that there was a piece that would stick over the top of this to say, you know, the release date, which obviously is not intact, but in the top bars here it's got wooden bars to keep it nice and flat, and yeah, really, really cool display. Too bad I don't have one of those for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, that would be pretty awesome. Alright, so let's move on to something a little bit more obscure. This is for a Sonic the Hedgehog game on the DS. Some people absolutely hate this game. I actually really enjoyed it. And that is Sonic the Hedgehog, or I should say Sonic Chronicles, The Dark Brotherhood. This is a store standee for a counter in the store, so it's a little bit smaller. In here, I think it housed brochures for the game, I'm pretty sure. But this is a really cool display. This thing is like brand new. This, though, looks like this is from the UK. Yeah, definitely. I actually never noticed that before. But on the bottom here it says 7+ PEGI, which is not the US rating board, as well as it has sonicchronicles.co.uk and sega.co.uk. So this is not from the US, this is only from the UK. Really cool display. And a pretty cool game. You know, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog RPG. That's a lot of people's dreams for a long time. Made by BioWare. It might have been hyped up a little bit too much, but I enjoyed the game. Wasn't perfect, had some problems, a little too easy, but a fun game. And last but not least, something a little bit smaller. Oh no, I still got one more. Forgot about that. Okay, this is for a love it or hate it game for a lot of people. I posted a review for this game, which has so many views. It's crazy. I never imagined that many people would watch my review of Sonic R. But this is, I'm going to take it out of the plastic protector I had it in. This is a handbill. These are very, very, well, not very common for this game, but in Japan there's a lot of handbills like this made for games. But this one here is just a sheet of paper made to advertise the game. I'm not exactly sure how handbills are usually distributed in Japan. I'm pretty sure they're just kind of handed out or found in game stores or put in windows or whatnot. But this here on the back shows us some of the characters, some of the courses, some screenshots, and then on the front, got some very nice artwork for the game. I would love to get this framed because putting it in this plastic display protector, it loses some of its color and some of its luster. So, handbills, definitely something that some people really love to collect. I don't have too many of them because they, believe it or not, can get very expensive. This was not that bad. Maybe 15, 20 bucks, I think, but some of the rarer ones for like Zelda games and stuff, you're talking like 70, 100 bucks plus. So, handbills, pretty crazy. And lastly for real this time, I did a review for this on my Sonic Collectibles channel, but I've never shown it off on my main channel here. But this is a Standee, and I love this thing, a counter Standee for Sonic 3D Blast. And you can get a closer look at it on my other channel. I'll leave a link below. But it's really cool. It's got the little flicky birds on there, and they're showing advertising here in the bottom, the Game Gear version, Sonic Blast, which, believe it or not, is a totally separate game from Sonic 3D Blast. It's actually a side-scroller with some really cool pre-rendered graphics for the Sonic model. Sonic 3D Blast on the Saturn, which I still need to get, believe it or not. That game has an amazing soundtrack. And of course, the version that I played most as a kid, Sonic 3D Blast on the Genesis. But yeah, this is a really cool Standee for it, so check out the video for that. And anyway, guys, that's my video of some of my Sonic display pickups from the past year to maybe 2 years. Check out my Sonic channel if you haven't. I got a lot of reviews on there. Haven't posted anything recently because I lost my camera that I like to film my videos with on there for some nice close-up details. But yeah, happy 20th anniversary to Sonic the Hedgehog. And thanks for watching.